Shalom Chaverim, it's Rubisa with this week's Perasha. This week's Perasha is called Selach or Selach Lecha, which means you will send or you will send for yourself. And what are we sending? We're sending spies. Now, I'll be honest, I love a good spy book or spy movie. The idea of checking in on something, scooping it out and looking for secrets and figuring it out, that's all very, very exciting. And what is it? What is the spying that's happening in the Torah? Well, Moshe is sending 12 spies to go and check out the land of Israel to see how it's going to go for Bnei Israel, for the Jewish people to go and live in the land. So it should be good and exciting, but it really is probably the worst spy plot ever. Because Hashem has picked the land of Israel for the Jewish people, so we know it's going to be amazing because Hashem picked it. But when the 12 spies see amazing things in Israel, and they come back with enormous fruit, because the fruit in Israel is the best. They come back, and they don't share a great report. They say some good things. Well, 2 of them say really good things, and 10 of them, that makes 12 altogether, say not good things. So the Jewish people, could have listened to the 2 good reports or the 10 bad reports. What news outlet are you going to listen to? They believe that it's going to be terrible, and they cry and they're heartbroken and they spend the night wailing. Oh, the spies told us it's going to be awful. We should have stayed in Egypt. Why did we ever leave? Israel's a terrible idea. How do you think Hashem takes to this one? He's promised us from the very beginning that Israel is our homeland. It is where we belong. And how easily are the Jewish people dissuaded, it's a bad idea, we shouldn't go. And Hashem says, okay, then none of you are going to go. For 40 years, you're going to wander the desert until all of you die out. And then only your children get the chance to go to Israel because they will love and appreciate the land. And today, when you cried for no reason, in the future you will cry on this day for a reason. And that is Tisha B'Av, a day that we still cry very much. So just as that crying is still very true for us on Tisha B'Av, how true is us for today to listen to the bad reports, fake news or real news, but to hear, oh, Israel's bad, Israel's doing the wrong thing, and believe it, and be like, oh yeah, that must be true. I heard it. I saw it. It must be true that Israel's bad, not that Hashem has the plan, not that we know it's where we belong, but oh, I read it, I heard it, I saw it, my friend said. Now, more than ever, is where we have to look at what is true. And what is true is our connection to Israel from the very beginning to the now to the future. We got ourselves into a bad situation then in this week's Perasha, when we went to spy it out. It's upon us to do better this time. In our own homes, around us, and spreading it. I want you to take time and think about that, but I'm going to give you one more piece of this week's Perasha that I quite like. I like it because I can eat it. Or more technically, I can't eat it. Just after this whole catastrophe with crying about Israel, we're given a mitzvah that when we make challah, when we make bread, that we take some and set it aside as a teruma. We take that, we make a bracha on it, and we acknowledge that this is a holy piece, so we don't get to eat it. It's too holy for that. The Sforno says that setting it aside in our homes and saying, this thing that we made is holy and not for us, is in a direct connection to the sin of the spies. That we get off track sometimes in big ways and in little ways, but in little tiny ways we can say, this is holy, this is special, This is for Hashem. And we can do that anywhere. In what we're making, that being challah, delicious fluffy challah, and saying, oh, it's not all for us. Part of it is holy. It's all from Hashem. And being able to do that in our lives. All right, so my 2 pieces for you. 1, Israel is ours. Don't let any fake news get in your way. Love it and spread the truth about it being our home from the time of Abraham, not listening to the bad spies, and making it our home today. Number 2, take challah, take a piece, make a beracha on it. You have to make a certain amount, but still, and know that in the things you create, there is godliness. You have to separate that aside actively and say, this is holy. I am part of this holy process. Shabbat shalom, friends.